my marriage fizzled out 25 years ago, I promised myself I would never go through the ordeal of consciously uncoupling again, which meant that I would never marry again. Oh, not that I was down on men or I didn't date. I always adored men, and I did date. Some very nice guys, in fact. But for the most part, my social life looked more like a healthy dessert. Dates with fruits and nuts. It looked like the relationship was headed for something more serious than casual. I would suddenly not be available. I could not fathom being at someone's beck and call after all these years of marching to my own drum. Taking in dinner or a movie with my girlfriends when I wanted, opting not to cook if I wasn't hungry, letting the house go to dust if I didn't feel like cleaning. Oh, and not shaving my legs for a week if I didn't wear long pants. I ask you, why would I trade such freedom for the same rut it took me 2 years and a truckload of Xanax to crawl out of? Nor did I fancy that coming clean phase with a potential new partner. Oh, you know what I mean. That serious sit-down where you feel obliged to confess to each other things that you'd rather other people didn't know about you. That your breasts are not entirely your own. Or that you can't get through the day without Beano. Those dark little secrets that shouldn't be anyone's business but your own. Oh, and the big question. Do I really want a man to see me naked at this stage? I mean, every body part is 2 inches wider or 2 inches lower than it should be. Then Andrew popped into my life. That was 6 months ago. We met at a small, casual dinner party at a friend's house, and when it came time to leave, my car wouldn't start. Dead battery. Well, I was about to call Uber when Andrew offered to drive me home. And gentleman that he is, he offered to pick me up the next day to go back and rescue my car. And he hung around while they recharged my battery. Then he invited me to lunch. Although I had only met him the night before, it was as if we had known each other for years. You know, it was odd. There was none of the usual cat and mouse game that women and men play when they meet for the first time. No trying to impress each other. We laughed a lot, which is really important to me. So we dated fairly regularly after that. A movie, a play, dinner, several parties, Sunday brunch, oh, and quite a few nights of pizza and beer in front of the TV. Yeah. It took a while for the fringe benefits to slip in. But even that was like falling off a log. It just happened. We must have been doing something right because he didn't need any Viagra. And it didn't matter if I'd shaved my legs because he couldn't tell without his glasses. It wasn't long till I realized I missed him when he wasn't around. That Andrew was the person I most wanted to be with. Oh, not at the expense of my girlfriends, mind you, but on a day-to-day basis. I knew I was smitten when I started putting on makeup every morning, just in case he called for a spur-of-the-moment date. Then, suddenly, it all came to a screeching halt. Weeks went by with no calls, no emails, no responses to the jokes I emailed him. I had no idea what happened. I said to myself, "Ah, you idiot! You let yourself fall right into the trap that you encourage other people to avoid." Well, it took a few weeks, but I finally got back into the swing of going solo again, including the usual routine medical appointments, annual blood work, dentist, skin, etc. One of those must-dos was the dreaded colonoscopy. It was late afternoon the day before my procedure, and I was well into that disgusting prep when my doorbell rang. To say the timing was lousy is an understatement. Well, for a split second, I considered answering the door, but there really was no choice. I mean, the doorbell continued to ding away, and I continued to, well, we won't go there. But you know what it's like when your phone or your doorbell keeps ringing and there's not a damn thing you can do about it because you're gorilla glued to the throne. And this person was more tenacious than a robocaller. Well, after an interminable amount of time, the doorbell stopped, and I finally finished my business, at least until the next round. I approached my front door with some hesitation. Would whoever had been leaning on my doorbell still be lurking? Well, no one in sight. But there, leaning against the outside wall, was a huge bouquet of red roses and a scribbled note. Darling Barbara, I was hoping to see you in person to apologize and explain why I've been incommunicado. I sensed that I was becoming too involved, too comfortable. I knew from our first lunch that you wanted to remain independent. I thought I should back off to give us both some breathing space. Fact is, I miss you, and I want us to spend as much time together as will work for you. I hope you'll forgive me. When can I see you? Love, Andrew. Oh, there, exclamation point. I said it, exclamation point. Sue me, exclamation point. Well, I couldn't get to the phone fast enough. He was so happy to hear why I didn't answer the door. He couldn't stop laughing. Now, I'm not ready to declare my undying adoration yet, but I think it won't be long. I mean, how can you not love a guy who calls you Poopsie?
My doc told me I should start exercising. I told him I would do it. There's no need to remind me every 6 months.
I let my mind wander. That's the closest I get to exercising. I feel good getting my leg through my undies without losing my balance.
I'm still wearing undies. Go commando, girlfriend. My joints are too stiff to exercise.
Maybe you're rolling them too tight.
I need a little walk around my last workout.
Does running away from my obligations count?
No.
How about running late?
Double no.
Exercise is the one thing that challenges my supply of curse words.
What's your favorite exercise?
Chewing.
No. Her favorite exercise is stretching. The truth.
And yours is judging.
Yeah, she gets enough exercise jumping to conclusions.
Oh, honestly. Hey, a morning run for me is getting from my bed to the toilet.
Have you seen the new equipment at the gym? You can burn 100 calories just trying to figure out how to turn it on.
I have all the equipment I know at home. Stationary bike, elliptical, weights, rowing machine, and I get all the exercise I need dusting them. I tried exercise, and then it dawned on me. The only way I was going to get smoking hot was to be cremated.
Or go through menopause.
Yeah.
I haven't exercised in so long, my Fitbit sent me a friend request.
Well, I was going great guns with my exercise program, and something snapped.
The elastic in your yoga pants?
Oh,
I exercise early in the morning before I wake up and realize what I'm doing.
I think I'm going to retire to the fitness protection program.
go to that restaurant.
Oh,
Dodged it that time. Yesterday she caught me unawares. Oh, it's so big. You must be already done, aren't you? I don't think she minded her own beeswax. She's so sappy, sweet, y'all began Academy. And now she wants to know what I'm going to do when I finish. Oh, hell, I got no cosmic plan. I'm old. Maybe I'll take up magic. I could make Judy Toon disappear. Oh! I've been crocheting all my life. Judy Toon doesn't realize that it really was that sister-in-law of mine who inspired me. Inspired me to make more than pom-pom slippers and baby booties. She said to me, Joy, if you were to make your own sweaters, y'all could tailor them exactly to your shape, such as that is. She had to add that in. So, before I kick the old bucket, I figure I should let her know that it really was she who gave me inspiration. After all, now let's see who wears that little smiley
I called up my doctor to find out the results of my blood work. She said she couldn't give them to me because of privacy issues.
I went to the registration desk for my colonoscopy, and they asked to see my ID. I said, why? Are you afraid I'm here to steal somebody else's colonoscopy?
When I was being prepped for surgery, the same nurse must have asked my date of birth 7 times. I said, honey, I don't want to tell you how to do your job, but have you thought about writing it down?
You know, there's more money spent on Viagra and breast implants these days than on Alzheimer's research. In 40 years, there'll be thousands of people with great breasts and enduring erections, and nobody will remember what to do with them.
The receptionist at my doc's office asked me my birthday. I told her, August 1st. She said, what year? I said, every year you income good.
I took my 85-year-old father to the ER for a possible concussion. Of course, the doctor had to ask a series of questions. He said to him, do you know where you are? Hillsborough Hospital. Do you know what city that's in? Toledo. Do you know who I am? Dr. Hamilton. And my father whispered in my ear, he said, I hope he doesn't ask any more questions. I said, why? He said, because all those answers were on his badge.
I won't wear a hearing aid. I refuse to do anything that makes me look old.
Oh, no, they won't make you look old.
When the 10,000 step a day theory popped, I thought, no way. Well, then, like millions of other people, curiosity got the better of me. I had to see where I stood in all of this. Fitbit to the rescue. Well, the good news is that I nearly reach that standard almost every day and occasionally exceeding it. The bad news is the way I achieve that goal. Now, after all, I don't pound the pavement or a treadmill on a daily basis. No. Sorry to say, I achieved those cursed steps by wandering from room to room and wondering, what the hell am I doing now? Well, that's very scary. I used to have a fantastic memory. Telephone numbers, birthdays, appointments, major events, all stored right up in here. Never missed an occasion. And now I have, but the day-to-day stuff, that's another story. I now have my My fridge, it is a fridge, right? Yeah, not the stove, it's the fridge. My fridge door is covered in sticky notes. I have a paper calendar in my purse, synced to an electronic device, and a long list of reminders on my computer. I am so covered for those special events. The day-to-day stuff, though, that's another story. If I had a buck for every time I walked into my bedroom closet and said, what am I doing here? I'd be a very wealthy woman. Oh, and I shudder whenever I'm on the thruway and I see that silver alert sign because, you know, one day that could be me. Hi, hon, I'm in Georgia. Oh, no, I'm fine. I just couldn't remember the way to Ball and took a wrong turn. See you in a couple of days. Now, as bad as I am, my husband is much worse in one respect. His glasses. He has 47,000 pairs of glasses. You never find one. He said, did you ever try reaching up, hon? Now, I don't know about your household, but my hubby and I remember special events entirely differently. For example, we've decided to celebrate the day we met rather than our wedding anniversary. I know it was a Tuesday in October. He swears it was a Wednesday in November. Now, I know I was wearing a rose-colored sweater. I mean, women remember those things. He insists it's navy blue, it was powder blue. He claims that the day we met, I was with a group of friends. No, I know I was with my one girlfriend, Pat. You know, all of this reminds me of the song in the movie Gigi that Maurice Chevalier and Hermione Gingold sang. You know, the one that says, ah, yes, I remember it well.
Oh.
Well, we used to argue about all these different items, and I just gave up on it. And there's no use to do that anymore. And I finally convinced him that it's not a question of right or wrong, it's the thought that counts. So why don't we simply celebrate both days? My wily version of double dipping. So I wear my rose-colored sweater for our Tuesday celebration and the powder blue one for our Wednesday celebration. Funnily enough, we don't need sticky notes or paper calendars to remind us of those date nights. So I guess for now we don't have to check into memory care. So for the time being, I'll just keep wandering from room to room, wondering what the hell I'm doing there, and hope that I can find my way to the nearest Walmart.